EPL season predictions. With the season just 2 days away, we're giving our thoughts on how we think things will shake out. But we want to bring another person into the mix, so let's bring in our CBS Sports EPL correspondent, Geoff Shreeves. We've got him right in the middle here to join our conversation. So we're going to start off with the category Newcomer of the Year. So who do you think is going to be the Newcomer of the Year, Geoff?
Florian Wirtz, and I think he'll be the Player of the Year as well. I'm giving him 2 awards in one. Honestly, I think he's absolutely extraordinary, Claudia. There's nothing that this boy can't do. He's only aged 22. He can pass it, he can receive it, he can tackle, he can create opportunities, and he can score goals. I think he's going to bring so much to Liverpool. I think he's going to be a huge player over the Premier League season. And he's already proven he's got great experience in the Bundesliga. He's got absolutely everything in his locker.
All right, Aaron, what do you think? What are you thinking?
I like his pick. I'm going to go with Martin Zubimendi from Arsenal. The way that he sets the tempo, his ability to play just about any pass. We already saw the cross he played for Viktor Gyökeres in preseason. The way he plays in transition, I think he will be the centerpiece for this Arsenal team, and I'm a big fan of his. I think he will have a fantastic season.
I think it's going to come down to those two. I agree with you. I think Zubimendi is going to be the best signing Arsenal has and one of the best players in the league at particularly his position. But Florian Wirtz is going to be this focal point of this Liverpool project for the next decade. He already showing his talent, already showing his tremendous ability as the number 10 facilitator, being able to attack, being able to score, the flexibility he has position-wise to be able to be effective as well as a potential winger. But I want him to be the number 10 guy, and I truly believe he will be by far the best newcomer this season.
It's going to come down to 2 players, Florian Wirtz and Viktor Gyökeres. This player has so much pressure on him to perform at Arsenal and be the answer to all the questions that Arsenal has had over the last couple of years. And pressure makes diamonds. He's going to rise to the top, be the Newcomer of the Year.
All right, Lisa, we ended with you, but I want you to kick off the next category. We have Young Player of the Year. Who do you think that will be?
I'm going with a young gun, Max Dowman, a teenager, 15 years old. He's already proven himself in the preseason matches that we've seen of him, that he's fearless on the ball. He wants to draw fouls. He's creative moving forward. It's going to come down to his decision-making, not holding on to the ball too long, being able to find that quick distribution. But I'm excited to see how he can grow into the first team.
Florian Wirtz.
Yeah.
Out of all the great things I just said about Florian Wirtz, the craziest part about it, he is 22 years old. Like this man has so much ahead of him, and there's so much that a lot of people, I can't wait for a lot of Premier League fans to be able to see them, because we got to see it on a day-to-day basis in the Bundesliga, but him taking his talents to Liverpool, showing his talents, and I think the other part's going to be, people are going to be amazed at how young he is and how mature he already is to be able to handle the pressure and the position that he's in with that high transfer fee. He's going to crush it.
Looking at the cheat sheet over here, how many times that's written down, Florian Wirtz?
Do you have Florian Wirtz for a couple categories?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just skip over you then and just assume, all right, he said Wirtz.
Run it back.
Let's switch it up a little bit. My Young Player of the Year is Florian Wirtz. I'm sorry. It's Florian Wirtz. I love the Max Dowman show. I just don't think he'll get enough minutes this season. His ability is off the charts. Florian Wirtz, though, we're going to say his name so many times this season in a positive light. He's 22 years old. It makes no sense the ability he has at this age. He's still set for another step up in his career. I think he has several levels still to go. I think he'll hit that next level at Liverpool. He'll be the Young Player of the Year.
Well, Geoff
Aaron, you can't call him a young player. He's been around for so long. I know he's 22 technically.
He's not been in the Prem long enough, and he's not been on the earth long enough.
No. He's a mature 22-year-old. Lisa, I like your shout of Max Dowman, but I just don't think he's going to play enough. Yeah. I don't think he's going to feature ready enough. You know, he's one for the future, a hugely exciting talent. But I thought about him. I thought about Stalvo as well at Chelsea. But again, I'm not sure how many minutes he'll actually get. So I'm going to go with Myles Lewis-Skelly. Broke through last season because I think he will continue. I think he will continue with his progress. We saw towards the end of the season. Yeah. Listen, his not bad moments, but you know, a young player is going to make some mistakes. But he had so few. He's such a rising talent. If he continues in the same vein, I think his is a huge season ahead of him, and in terms of his maturity and his progression, he could make big strides on the back of an already rapid rise through the Arsenal ranks.
I love that shout, Geoff. Who do you have now for a Golden Boot?
Florian Wirtz. No, I'm joking. Florian Wirtz is also my Manager of the Year. Golden Boot, I want to go Erling Haaland. 22 last season, pipped only by Salah and Isak. I do fancy Manchester City for their rebuild, and I think he will be firing once again. And the reason I went for him is that he always plays. You know, there's not much. I mean, I know they've got Mamouche now as well, but Erling Haaland tends to play most of the time, and his conversion rate is more than decent. So I think it'd be a tight contest, a very tight contest, and we've got, you know, Gyökeres, Ekitike coming in as well. But he's got, as we say in horse racing, he's got course and distance. So I fancy him to come back with a golden boot.
I'm going to come back with the same exact answer. Erling Haaland is my answer. He'll be healthier this year, I believe. And when he plays, he scores goals. This is a revamped City team that will provide him with the service to get the goals, and he'll be the top scorer.
I got Haaland as well. And unlike Geoff, I don't think it's going to be close. I think this revamped Man City team, I think I got them finishing second in the Prem. I truly believe this project and the direction they're going in. I love the youth movement that they have. I like all the attention that other players will get that will take, and the facilitation that they'll be able to provide the service, which was the biggest thing missing in a lot of times last year when KDB was out, that I think they'll have this season, and Erling Haaland will bang again.
4 for 4, Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
I'm also going with him because I echo all the sentiments that these three gentlemen have said, but it's Haaland's sole role this year is going to be scoring goals, finding the back of the net. He has no other responsibilities, which allows him to just be able to take off and run with that.
All right, Lisa, let's switch on to Player of the Year. Who do you have? And don't tell me it's Florian Wirtz.
It is Florian Wirtz. It has to be. It has to be, Claudia, for so many of the reasons that we've talked about already during this show. But the production that Liverpool already has offensively, Florian Wirtz is only going to add to that, make it stronger. And I believe he's going to shine in the system and how Liverpool play based on the positions he's able to get into, the combinations he's able to play. Player of the Year for me is Florian Wirtz.
Where do you think I'm going? But I will give you this fun nugget. Professional Footballers Association, there's only been 3 other instances in which we have seen a player win Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year. Andy Gray, 1976, 1977, in Aston Villa, which I think you were, in college then, Geoff? Correct me if I'm wrong?
I think I was there for a couple of afternoons at best.
Cristiano Ronaldo, 2006, 2007, Manchester United, and Gareth Bale, 2012, 2013, with Tottenham. Florian Wirtz will join that crew.
Wow.
Aaron?
This is Bukayo Saka's year.
Okay, switching
Last
things
year,
up.
He suffered a little bit with injury. He's usually a very healthy player. This year, he'll be fully healthy. He has other options that take the pressure off him. Viktor Gyökeres. He's got Martin Zubimendi playing passes. The fact that teams can't fully double team him every match, I think his numbers will skyrocket. He will combine with Gyökeres and whoever else will be on the left side. Martin Odegaard will be healthier this year. He will combine with him. This is Bukayo Saka's year to take the mantle and make that step as the best player in Arsenal and the best player in the league.
I love that shout. Geoff, I know that you also had Florian Wirtz down as Player of the Year, correct?
Yeah, I just shy away a little bit, Aaron, from Arsenal because I'm not convinced that they are. You know, it's a bit like saying Gyökeres as your Golden Boot winner. Well, how convinced are we about Arsenal are the real deal this season? Are they finally going to be the bride rather than the bridesmaid? So, if Arsenal are not having a great season, then and to have a great season, they've basically got to win either the Premier League or the Champions League. If that's not happening, then Bukayo Saka is not going to be Player of the Season for me. So that's why I would hedge my bets. And that's why, because I've got more belief about Liverpool right now, that's why I've shied away from Arsenal, other than for Myles Lewis-Skelly as Young Player of the Year. You know, there's so much pressure on them. But, you know, the belief around Florian Wirtz as well is just extraordinary. I think Lisa's got him down for Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year, Player of the Season, Golden Boot winner, nice guy, clubman, freshman of the year, and best looking footballer in the Northwest. So he's under massive pressure.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing best looking.
Yeah, we're doing all of it. Well, Geoff, the one thing Florian Wirtz cannot take is the Manager of the Year, all right? So we're going to get some different answers here finally. Geoff, who do you have as Manager of the Year?
Look, I know it's dull and it's predictable, and I did have some debate in my mind about this. I really think that Thomas Frank will perform an amazing turnaround at Tottenham. I think they need to spend some more money, and it could be interesting as to who comes in. They need more pretty much all over the pitch, and I worry about the goals are going to come from. But I think the points improvement in Tottenham, because they had such a bad season last season, could see Thomas Frank do an incredible job. Imagine if he gets them a Champions League slot. That would be superb. However, if Arne Slot retains the Premier League title, and we saw in that clip earlier on, so in the second time in 35 years that they've won the title, second time in the last 5 years, it is incredible that they have done so well. But this time, it will be with his squad, his buys, his players, his tactics, if you like. So for me, if he does it, then you have to say, chapeau, manager of the season.
Aaron, what are you thinking?
I'm going to stay Arsenal strong with this one. I'm speaking it into existence. I'm speaking a little hope and a little bit of belief. I think it'll be Mikel Arteta, because I believe Arsenal will be the champions, to skip ahead to the next one. This is the year. I think that he's got the squad available to him. I think that his record against the Big Six is impeccable. Now he's got the players to break down smaller sides. This is the year for Arsenal. This is my belief, and Mikel Arteta is your manager of the year.
Master, are you as confident in Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, or who do you have as manager of the year?
I'm not. Defensively, I think they'll still be very strong, but from an attacking perspective, I don't know if they truly addressed the issues that they had, whether it's at striker and what they needed in the system or what they need at left winger. With that being said, I'm going to go with Slot. I truly believe. Again, he was discredited last season for what he did, which I thought was a tremendous accomplishment, being able to win the Premier League in the first season. And I think this year he really solidifies himself. There's no questions asked. He's one of the best managers in the world, and he's able to do that this year.
Great shot.
I'm going with a coach that's under a lot of pressure this year, Ruben Amorim, to perform well. And I think that if he can start the season off on the right foot, a strong start, picking up points, and frankly do better than last year and rise up the standings a little bit, he could win this manager of the year.
All right. Well, are you that confident in Manchester United being Premier League champions, or who do you have in that category?
Absolutely not. I do not have that happening. Instead, I have Arsenal winning it. We gave a stat earlier this week, Claudia, that I loved, that Arsenal finished second for the third year in a row, meaning that they are destined to win the Premier League this year. And with all of the pieces that they've brought in, it's going to be a rejuvenation. I think defensively, they're going to be just as stout as they were last year. They just had to tweak some things on the attacking side of the game. It is a more complete team than we've seen last year, and it is finally going to be Arsenal's time to win the title.
Hope and destiny, unfortunately, doesn't live to reality. I'm taking Liverpool.
Ooh.
I just think, I said it back in June on the show, actually. As soon as the Kirkes, Frimpong, and Florian Wirtz additions went through, I said, this team looks incredible. And then you add in Ekitike and the possibility that hasn't been obviously official or hasn't moved on yet, but the possibility of also adding Guehi and potentially Alexander Isak as well. They do need another center back. I think that is a position they need to address before this window closes. But I think it's hard to beat this team. I truly believe it. And if they're able to add Guehi and Isak, we're not only just talking Premier League, we're talking treble here.
Aaron, who are you thinking? Premier League champions?
Arsenal.
You going Arsenal?
They addressed all the issues I wanted them to address. Striker, depth across the board, attacking options. Still, it's a 9 out of 10 window for me. If they add a top quality left winger, another attacker, it's a 10 out of 10. But everything they needed for the squad to be Premier League champions, they have added. And I think this is the year.
I love being able to hear the opinions of two different Arsenal fans, because it just shows just...
And it's two sports journalists.
It's two sports journalists.
Looking at it subjectively.
Exactly. And I love being able to hear that. Geoff, round it out for us here. Who do you think is going to be the Premier League champion this upcoming season?
I wouldn't discount Manchester City. I think the main thing is we're going to have a proper title race next season. It won't be a dull procession like last season, hopefully. Arsenal, yes, they've more importantly, they've brought in numbers. They're so desperately short of bodies last season. They brought in bodies, and I don't think they've finished yet. Yes, they'll have a go, but I'm not convinced, Aaron, about they've solved their conundrum about how they attack. They need to mix it up more. Get Gyökeres in behind, because at the moment it's this horseshoe. Pass. Goes forwards, goes backwards, goes nowhere. I'm not completely convinced they've resolved that. For me, well, Liverpool, as I said, and if they sign Gay and Isak, well, just give Arne Slot the trophy and a fat cigar now, because it's all over.
Well, we just wrapped up our Premier League season awards, but now we get to have even more fun by giving out some superlatives. So, Geoff, we're going to start things off with you, and this one is my favorite of all the superlatives we're giving out. The Ange Postecoglou Best Coach Soundbite Award. Who is that going to, Geoff?
Ooh, do you know, I'm going to go with Thomas Frank because we're going to see it. I love him. I love his style. He's always smiling. He's not afraid to say what he thinks. He seems to have no ego whatsoever. So he's quite happy to answer a question honestly and also with a bit of humour as well. So, yeah, I mean, he said about Bissouma being dropped this week, didn't he? He was late, one time too many. So that's why he's out of the Super Cup squad. So, yeah, I think he's got a nice touch about him and he could give us some lines to remember.
It's the same for me. Thomas Frank, he's affable, he's funny, he's honest. He's already gotten himself in trouble a couple times complimenting Arsenal as a Spurs manager, so it's definitely going to be him.
We acting like we didn't see Pep's mustache a couple weeks ago. Like we've heard of how Stella got her groove back, how Pep got his groove back. They spent money, they revamped the team. Like, he's going to come in.
That was a crazy look, by the way.
Guns blazing. Like,
yo, go mustache.
He is a lifetime achievement award.
Anybody in 2025 who has a mustache is asking for problems. Let's be honest.
I'm sitting right here. I can't grow a beard, Geoff.
Me neither. I'm going with him.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to go with Ruben Amorim because of the quantity, right? And of all the interviews that we're going to get from this manager, we're going to get something good that we can hold on to and run with for the rest of the season.
I love you giving Man U some love. They need it. They need some positive stuff coming their way. All right, Lisa, who would you give the Nottingham Forest biggest surprise award to?
My biggest surprise this year is going to be Everton. The way that they ended last season on very much an upward tick. Of their last 18 matches, they only lost 3 of them. If they can continue to build off of that, they're going to be a slow burn throughout this season, but with the new stadium, they've got good vibes. It's the whole look good, feel good, play good situation for Everton, and they're going to be a big surprise this year.
Funny enough, I got Everton as well. The new stadium, the depth that they have, stout defensively. I think there's going to be a new energy. Hopefully they can sage this new building and kind of get rid of this relegation vibes that was in the last one. So I truly believe for the first time in a long time, we're going to see Everton in the top half of the table.
Aaron, you going Everton as well?
I'm not. I thought about Everton. I'm going Sunderland. I think with the money they've spent, I believe in Regis Lebris. I think that he can be the guy for Sunderland. So I think they will just stay up, and we will see some surprises from them throughout the season.
Geoff, based on your response, I'm assuming you don't have Sunderland. Who you got in this category?
No, Aaron and I might be dressed vaguely similarly, but we're not thinking the same, buddy. I've got to say, it's
the mustache difference that really sets us apart.
So for me, it's not happening Sunderland-wise. I'm going to go Tottenham because Tottenham fans were so used to Ange ball, crazy tactics, 1,000 injuries, non-stop attacks, seemingly no defence whatsoever. I just think Thomas Frank will be so pragmatic. They'll play attacking football, but, you know, he's a sensible guy. It's like when he got promoted with Brentford, he wasn't afraid to say, yeah, we're going to have to mix it up. We're going to have to be at times pragmatic, to use that word once again, to stay in the league. So I think it'll be a complete cultural reset for Tottenham. I'm not saying they won't play attacking football, but the difference between Tottenham under Ange and under Thomas Frank, I think, will be a huge surprise to many, many Tottenham supporters.
Very good show.
All right, well, Geoff, let's stay with you. How about the Joao Felix Worst Signing of the Year award? Who are you going to give this to?
It's a tough one because I don't like to say that somebody is a bad signing. You know, you always want it to go well for them. And Noni Madueke signing at Arsenal, bearing in mind that he normally plays in the same position as Saka, so that didn't seem to make a lot of sense for a lot of Arsenal fans, and he hasn't been welcomed. I really hope it works out well for him, and I think that, like I said previously, the fact that Arsenal have got bodies in there has made a huge difference as well. So I think he's got it all to do, and I think he's a good player. So when I don't like the word worst signing. It just might not be the right fit for that player at that club.
Going by that criteria, it's exactly my criteria. Jamie Gittin / Esteval for Chelsea. Esteval has so much talent. I just don't think he will find the playing time for a player of his ilk. I think that he'll probably end up going out on loan. We'll see him at Strasbourg or somewhere else in a year or so, and we'll say, this kid should have never gone to Chelsea because he should have been a starter somewhere else. That's the reason. Has nothing to do with his ability. I just think he went to the worst place possible for a player like that.
I was debating between Gittins and Madueke. I ended up going with Madueke because now you're talking about him being on the left and his strong suit. He can play both sides, don't get me wrong, but obviously you were looking at him in the signing as the third winger for this team. And now if you're in a situation where you have a left-footed left winger, I just don't know if that was the wisest move for Arsenal to make in this situation. I thought they should have been more aggressive at finding who that left winger was first before addressing who the backup was. But we've seen them kind of course correct in these last couple summers based off the injuries that they've had that they felt costed them a chance at the title, and address those immediately rather than addressing what they probably was a bigger need in terms of left winger, potentially striker as well.
Well, you both considered going with Jamie Gittins. I actually went with him, the signing for Chelsea. I just don't think we're going to see enough time on the field for him. I don't think it's the right move for him personally because he could have gone somewhere else and actually been a little bit of a bigger piece in the future of the club moving forward. It's almost like a placeholder, Band-Aid over a bullet hole that Chelsea found in Gittins, and I don't think we're going to get the best out of him this season.
How about who would you give the Jamie Vardy Player You Love to Hate award to, Lisa?
Okay, so production might not like me for this one, but the love to hate, I thought of it more of like hate to love. I thought of it a little bit of the opposite, but I'm going to go with Christian Romero, the center back for Tottenham. He just earned the captaincy, but man, he gets himself into some crunchy tackles, and he breaks up play that is so beautiful for the opposition. You want to see it end in a completion of a goal or a great chance, and Romero kind of gets in the way. So defensively, love to watch him, but on the attacking side for good football, good goal scores, I hate to love him, love to hate him.
Master?
I'm sticking to London. Cucurella. I mean, I don't know who doesn't like this guy.
Great shout. Fantastic
I don't know who actually likes this guy outside of his own teammates. I mean, people hate him so much that pull his hair at a Club World Cup final, you know? So, but obviously if he is on your team, you embrace those kind of players, those kind of personalities. But if you're playing against him, you can clearly see he will agitate you and agitate opposing teams. So
wonderful shout.
That's who I got.
Is it me? It's going to be Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United. I hate his face. I'm an Arsenal supporter. I hate his face. Every time I see him, every time I see him whine, every time I see him dive, he's a fantastic player, but I hate everything about him. And I think that's what the criteria is.
For me, that would be mine just because I never know whether to say Fernandes or Fernandez. So I always go back and forth. So if your name is confusing to me, I don't know what to do. Jeff, who do you have in this category?
Oh, a clear favourite, a winner by a million miles, Paul van Hecke. He gets up everybody's nose. He irritates everybody. He's a terrific player. Do you remember he was involved in Declan Rice's sending off, and Arsenal fans still haven't forgiven him for that in his part in it. And also he had words with Erling Haaland and then with Pep Guardiola after the game as well. I mean, it's brilliant. It's an art. If you can unsettle your opponents, it's something in your armoury. And also, there are rumours of him going to Tottenham. So imagine him and Christian Romero together, Lisa. What a dream team they'll be.
Oh, man.
Good luck to the referee that day.
All right, Jeff, round us out here with our last superlative. The Erik ten Hag First Manager Fired Award. Who will that go to?
I'm going to go Keith Andrews because I just think there's been so much upheaval at Brentford. I know Keith. He's been touted as a set-piece coach. He did a lot more than that. Trust me. It's not. Again, this is a bit like the signings we were talking about. It's not just him. It's scenario. Thomas Frank took with him his entire backroom staff. So all the coaching staff have left Brentford. Look at the players that they've lost as well. I just think he's got it all to do. And to have your first job in management in the Premier League under those circumstances, I'm afraid... Look, I wish Keith well and I hope it goes well for him, but I think he's got a big job on his hands, and if it's not looking good early on, then the vultures will be circling.
Jeff, you want to act like we're not on the same wavelength, but we are. I am also going with Keith Andrews. Thomas Frank leaving, the fact that they've lost so many of their important backroom staff, first-team players, I don't think the job is set up for him to be successful, and I do believe he'll be the first one out the door this season.
I'm going with Leeds, Dana Farke. It was a situation in which the questions whether he was going to stay or go when they got promoted, and he got the backing of the chairman, Parag, who backed him. But there still is an ongoing debate going on with Leeds fans of whether he is the right fit for this team to make sure that they could stay up. They had the best chance, I would say, of all the promoted sides to stay up. But in those first 3 matches, you start off against Everton. You've got Arsenal. I think game week 4, you've got Newcastle. When that international break comes around, I think around week 3, if there's not any points on the board, I think the pressure is going to continue to mount here, and they may have to make a quick move.
I'm also looking at Leeds and Daniel Farke for all of those reasons, but specifically with the start of the season, there is an incredibly quick trigger there with the ownership. I think the fan base and the pressure that they're putting on Leeds to perform, stay up in the Premier League, it is going to be a tough look for Daniel Farke to start this season.
I love it.
Claudia, can I ask one question?
Of course.
When do we all think the first managerial change will be in the Premier League? How long will we have to wait before the first one goes?
How long do you guys think for the people that you gave?
Well, you guys just said, I think after three matches, we may see it.
I think so.
Because that early international break window, I think if you're looking at Leeds and they don't have any points on the board,
specifically, absolutely.
I think they pull that trigger pretty quick because they spent so much money and there's so many high expectations for this club and the fan base to be competitive, and if you start off on the wrong foot.
And they've already thought about it over the summer.
Yeah.
So they already have candidates that they would probably like to see take on that role in positions. So it's almost like, okay, you have one chance. You have one chance to make this work, Leeds and Daniel. If not, you're out.